So there was this playfulness exercise that I had written in my original plans, and I'm actually still going to do it, actually. But the thing about this playfulness exercise is that I've gone back and forth about it. Because it wasn't really playful, and maybe I felt like we had done a lot of things that were basically fundamentally the same thing. So anyway, I kept taking it on and off the list. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? And it was off the list because it was like, well, it's really not that good. It was just like, second guessing myself, editing it off. And of course, editing can be a good thing. It's needed. It's not, a discardable thing. I mean, hopefully you're kind of getting by now that my idea on pretty much everything is that everything is both needed and not needed. And the playfulness is the best when we're in the middle between those, and when we can let them be both, like that in and of itself is playful. Like I can let it be totally useless and really useful too, because editing is needed sometimes. It's efficient, whatever. But so this brought me to this new playfulness, or this new one that I wanted to do that I almost kind of forgot. I mean, it was just, it's in there. It's like interwoven in everything that we've been doing, but I almost kind of missed it. But this brought it right up for me, and that is do something impulsive. Do something intuitive. Okay, because I don't like to just say the impulsive one, because that's got the negative spin, like maybe it's just like thoughtless and, but the intuition word gives it this concept of deep wisdom. So, do something where you're not second guessing yourself, or stop and interrupt a second guess of yourself and don't let it happen. And so this one might be tough in terms of like finding it. I mean, I know and believe that it happens to many people. It happens to me many times a day. I believe it happens to everybody many times a day. But finding it or remembering or noticing when it happens might be tough. It might be like, I don't know, nothing came up today. But I would probably say like it probably did. You just didn't notice, because we've gotten so good with our management systems, our human adult management systems, that we filter out impulses and manage them and streamline them so much that like you might not even notice that they're coming up, or give them attention or whatever. So it might take a little bit of like effort to see it and know that it, okay, here's a moment, and I can grab it, and I can actually go with my gut instead, and I can actually not second guess myself and go with my original impulse. And of course, I'm not talking about like, ooh, maybe I should get in the right lane right now. Oops, I've looked in my mirror and there's a car there. That would be a bad idea. I don't mean go with your impulse, or go, don't second guess yourself in a situation like that. When there is truly facts involved that are like, and this is not safe, and this is not fine, and this is a no. I'm not going to go into the right lane. Not those, okay? But outside of those truly a no kind of things, give yourself a little leeway, okay? So let's say it's like, you're walking past a door and you just like have the impulse to like whack it with your elbow and make it close really hard. And your management system says like, no, don't do that. Like, it's going to make a really loud noise. Everybody's going to turn and look. People might be shocked. People will be scared. Or like, what's the point? There's no need to do that. It might, I don't know, whatever, hurt the door. I mean, of course, if it's definitely a no, like it's going to shatter glass and like harm people. Yes, definitely that's a no. But anywhere else in between where it's like not definitely a no, and it might just like maybe startle someone or like make some people look at you, or it's silly and pointless and like kind of ridiculous, do that. Do it. Just, if you've got that impulse, like go ahead, pop it. Pop it with your elbow, pop it closed. Or, I don't know, I can think of a million different ways this comes up. And it could be something like, I have this like impulse to just like watch 15 more minutes of this show, but I really shouldn't because we've got to go to bed. That can happen. We can do that one. But those ones show up a little bit more easily. They're really more like about discipline, They're not really like impulses. They're more like I'd like to stay comfortable, and I don't want to have the discipline or put forth the energy to put myself into action to get moving in a different direction that might be more uncomfortable. So, I mean, to me, that's what I'm just saying. Like, I distinguish a little bit of difference there. And so that one can happen. But ask yourself the question, really, check in with yourself. Like, is this really me? Not second guessing myself and going with an intuition or an impulse that like just kind of came forth? Or is this me, maybe just like kind of wanting to do what's comfortable and, just wanting to put less energy or something? Because those are a little different. I'm wanting to really get to the impulse, to the not second guessing yourself and just trying that on. It doesn't mean that you do it every day, just like many of these exercises. Like, it is not going to be a very efficient way to live or an intelligent way to live to just go with your impulses all the time. But it's a very interesting exercise to experience what that would be like and to let up the management system, like let off the reins a little on the management system and to feel what that's like. It is definitely interesting or of interest to feel, experience, get back into relationship with the other side, with the impulse side. So that's what we're trying to find. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ways that it might come up. The impulse to go do something silly. With your daughter, like puff her hair or something, or I don't know. There's a lot of other ways. Like I've had, like let's say the impulse to touch something or to like stick my hand in water that I've seen, whether it's outside or like in a bathroom. I mean, this might be gross too, but you can wash your hands. But like in a bathroom, a fancy bathroom, they had like all these decorated rocks and everything in the bottom part of the sink. And I don't know, just had the impulse to like mess with them or mess them up or, so anyway, probably need to wash my hands if I do that. But there's just things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think, you will feel it hopefully come. And it could be something more artistic or something with work. Like I had an impulse to send a letter to my mom, but I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. My management system comes online because that'll just get a whole conversation started and I'm not really in the mood for a conversation. Like, okay, go with an impulse. Just see, and see what happens. And it could be creative, could be work, it could be just like what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, I wanted to do this, but I've decided for pretty good reasons that maybe it's not even the best one and I shouldn't include it in the playfulness exercises. But for some reason, I still kind of have that impulse to like want to do it. So I'm going to do it, just try something like that. And I think, you'll find playfulness in it. This one will be easy to find playfulness in. I'm just worried you might not find it easy to find one of these moments and to like grab it when it comes. So you'll have to tell me how that part goes. But yeah, even if it takes you like a couple days, keep it in mind. Do another one today instead of that. I don't know, but stick with it. I know you'll find it. But yeah, finding that voice could be really valuable too. Finding that awareness to be able to pick out those moments and hearing the voice of impulse, instead of just the voice of the management system. We'll see how it goes.